having a lot of fun doing it. We're here from Royalwise. What is Royalwise? Well, we are computer software training and support, and we specialize in QuickBooks Online, Microsoft Office, productivity tools, and of course, all things Apple. That's my little world. But let's start off with some QuickBooks stuff, Alicia. Tell us what's going on over there in the QuickBooks world.
Well, it's January, and January means chasing down those 1099s. And there's something new this year, just if you thought it was complex already, but now they've actually introduced a new form intended to simplify things. That there traditionally has been the 1099 MISC form, but almost everybody was using it for Box 7, which was their non-employee compensation. And so they realized that, well, if 99% of people are using it for this one thing, why don't we just make that a new form? So they turned Box 7 on the MISC form to a 1099 NEC for non-employee compensation. And so that's now the form that almost all small businesses are going to use to submit the charges that they've made or the money that they have paid to subcontractors. And the 1099 wizard in both QuickBooks Desktop and QuickBooks Online has been modified to account for both of the two forms, and they both the wizards will submit both 1099 MISC and 1099 NEC forms. So if you're not sure if your subcontractors qualify for this, basically you want to think about it as a flow chart. Are they an employee? You don't have to 1099 them. If they provide services to you and not products, you might have to 1099 them. If they are incorporated, either S Corp or C Corp, you don't have to 1099 them. But if they are a sole proprietor, an LLC, or a partnership, you do need to 1099 them. Once you've whittled those down, did you pay them more than $600 in the year? If not, why bother? If you paid them more than $600, how did you pay them? Did you pay them by credit card? You don't have to 1099 them because the credit card companies do it. Did you pay them directly through some sort of transaction that directly came from your checking account, like a check, cash, direct deposit, ACH? Then you do. So it works like a flow chart, and it sounds really confusing, but it's not quite as confusing as all of that. But your QuickBooks Online and your QuickBooks Desktop both have tools that will qualify people for you. And so as you walk through the wizard, it will take maybe your list of 100 vendors down to the handful that need the 1099 forms, and you can submit the forms from right inside QuickBooks. So that's the good news. It will even send the forms to the IRS for you. What it doesn't do is submit to your state, so you still have to do that step. So if this is something that you are trying to figure out, the deadlines for this are the end of this month, so you only have about 10 days left. I do have a course at royalwise.com that if you just go into royalwise.com and search for 1099s, there's a course that shows you how to use the tool in QuickBooks Online, and I'm happy to help. So that's the biggest thing happening in my world now.
You said 1099 so many times. I was like, wow, that was amazing. That's like when I try to explain Apple TV and Apple TV Plus and TV app and TV and TV and TV.
Well, it's part of the name of it, and it's the concept. Guess how many times I said 1099?
Oh, I'm going to guess 12.
Actually, I probably said them 1,099 times.
1,099 times. I was going to guess you were going for that. I was guessing you were aiming for the 1099 number. Well, let me talk a little bit about Apple, what's going on in the Apple world. I think kind of the biggest, coolest thing that we've seen in the Apple world is the launch of the new Apple Fitness Plus program and or service. So this is another subscription service that is basically pairing your Apple Watch with either Apple TV or your iPad. The really cool thing about Apple Fitness Plus is it's got yoga and cardio classes and bike classes and all sorts of classes. You can subscribe to get it, but the really cool part is that your watch will actually put your health stats up on the screen. So while you're doing yoga, you can monitor your own heart rate. You can see how long you've been doing the workout, all those sorts of things.
That means other people can see it too, doesn't it?
No, it's just between your watch and your iPad. I don't think they're publishing it out there so that you're competing with the other bikers or whatever.
Do you promise not to look while I'm working out?
I will not look, not me. And the easiest way, not the easiest way, but one of the ways to get Apple Fitness Plus, if you just subscribe to it, is one thing. But the Apple One subscription subscription is kind of a new thing too. So if you are already a subscriber to, say, Apple News Plus and Apple TV Plus and Apple Arcade and iCloud storage and all that kind of stuff, you can now bundle all that into the Apple One subscription. And for one price, which will save you money on the multiple subscriptions, you can get all of that. So we just signed up for the premium for the family. The family's even better. We got 4 people leveraging all these different subscriptions. And so we don't need 4 Apple Music subscriptions and 4 Apple Arcade subscriptions, just one of each of those.
So does that mean that when I'm doing my bank feed in QuickBooks and I'm seeing that like 12 different charges that are all going to get consolidated
That's
into
exactly
one?
what we're talking about.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is now every month when Apple subscriptions come up, we'll just get one charge and it'll all be under there.
Oh, I'm very happy for that.
It's going to help with the accounting, but it's a little challenging at first because you may have a free trial for Apple TV Plus for a year, or maybe you're getting the 3 free months of Apple Music, and so we're still kind of waiting to see how the charges shake out. What we do know is that when whatever you've already paid for expires is when Apple One will take that over. But I still haven't seen, are we making a partial payment now? Or are we waiting till it all shakes out and making another payment? But Apple One says that I think they've got a 30-day trial or a 60-day trial. So anyway, Apple One is even free for the first bit. And I think that's really so that the other subscriptions have a chance to expire and then get moved into Apple One, and then we'll start paying for that. But with all the subscriptions in the world, I don't know about you, but between Hulu and Netflix and Prime, Amazon Prime and Disney Plus and you name it, CBS All Access, wow, there's just enough of them. So I'm really happy that Apple found a way to get all theirs combined into one. A little bit less stress for that. You want me to talk about the next little bit of Apple stuff, or
head on, go for it.
Okay, one other thing that's happening in the Apple world, and this got launched not too long ago, January 12th is our press release. Apple just launched a new Racial Equity and Justice Initiative, REJI is what they're calling it, project to challenge systematic racism and advance racial equality nationwide. It's a big initiative. They've made commitments built on Apple's $100 million pledge, and including the first of its kind educational hub for HBCUs. What's that mean, Allie?
Historically black colleges and universities.
There we go. So we're supporting the black colleges, universities, and they're developing an Apple Developer Academy in Detroit. And so Apple has come out and really said, hey, we're going to put some money behind and also some social work behind getting support for black colleges, black universities, and Apple development in neighborhoods where you wouldn't expect them to invest. So.
Which also means it's going to be a huge investment in technology education that's going to bring a whole lot of new minds and fresh perspectives into where technology can take us.
And I also think as far as those people that haven't had a voice yet or been able to really get into the technology, how do they use it and how can we improve it so that it works for those folks too? Mm-hmm. So I think that's really great. We've always seen Apple be able to pivot a little bit, they'll put something out that works or doesn't work and then they get all the feedback and they pivot pretty well by improving things based on what they've learned. So I'm super excited to see how this initiative goes.
You can use it to improve society.
Well,
awesome.
We'll see. We'll see. Lord knows Apple hasn't been influencing society with our watches and our Fitness Pluses and all the rest of it. What else we got going on?
Well, just as you were talking about Apple influencing society, this is just a little story about something that happened to me. When you're using QuickBooks products and something's not working or you have an idea for a new feature, there's a little feedback button up in the upper right-hand corner, and so you can go in and put feedback about it. And if you've taken any of my classes or you've ever heard me talk, I'm always talking about feedback. Well, I actually just got an email this morning from one of the guys who actually reads all of the feedback, who liked one of my ideas and wanted to know more about it. So if you are ever wondering if Intuit really pays attention to the feedback that you put in about the products, I actually got an email from somebody. So I was pretty excited about that.
Wow. And she gives feedback, I'll tell you. She submits it. She's had a few features really kind of get improved because of what she says directly to the developers. I've been seeing it in a lot of different platforms. So congratulations.
Well, thank you.
That's really
thank you
spectacular.
very much. But that's all on behalf of my clients, because I put in that feedback when I'm working on somebody's file and it's not doing what I want it to do. It's like, ooh, let's tell them. I should do this.
Awesome. Here's some other news. So now we've talked about Apple and QuickBooks. Let's talk about Royalwise a little bit. It's a small owl's nest. You'll notice we're here in the owl's nest, but we're making room for one more person. We are looking to hire a new employee. We've been growing, especially with everybody staying home and wanting to learn more and do more on-demand trainings. And so we are looking for
Social media specialist.
digital content and social media marketing expert. So if you know someone or you are a digital content social media marketing guru, we want to hear from you. We want to talk to you.
If you're looking at this video and going, oh, they need to do this and this and this to improve it, call us, please.
you may be the one. You may be the one. So we've got an application out on Indeed.com looking for this position, and we're super excited to bring in our second full-time employee. By the way, I'm just going to call this out. Jeff Black is our number one guy.
All right, Jeff.
Our operations manager. He's actually running this live stream for us, but we want to definitely thank Jeff for all his hard work and the support he's given us over the last year or more that allows us to grow to this level that we now need more help, right? That's a great thing to have.
It's a great position to be in.
Great problem to have is that we need more help. So, okay, how you feeling?
There's just one other thing that I wanted to let people know about is that in the same way that January is all about 1099s, once we hit February, then it's all about year-end tax prep. And for all of you business owners out there, when you are getting your books ready for your accountant, this is the time to hook up with your bookkeeper and have them go over your books to make sure that you've categorized everything properly, that all your accounts are reconciled. Because I see a lot of people with extra transactions in their QuickBooks, sometimes extra expenses, sometimes duplicated income. And when you go to your accountant for taxes, they fall into two categories. You've got some accountants who will actually look through your books and make sure everything's right and help you fix it up. And then there are other accountants who just take the P&L that you give them and take that balance sheet and plug the numbers into your taxes. And so if your accountant falls into that category, they're trusting that you are doing the extra step on the bookkeeping at the end of the year. So if you are not sure how to go about doing that, first of all, reach out to your bookkeeper. And if you don't have a bookkeeper, then I have a course coming up next week on Wednesday from 10 to 12 on the things to look for in your books to get them cleaned up and ready for your accountant.
We have a course for that? How timely. That is amazingly cool. Speaking of upcoming courses, tomorrow I'm starting my curriculum from the start, and I'm doing my Mac OS All the Basics Part 1, where we really help beginners or Windows switchers, or even if you're been using your Apple for a while, I guarantee you'll learn 3 things you didn't know, right? And so how to really take advantage of that Mac. And the next week I'm doing my Mac OS All the Basics Part 2, where we go a little deeper, talk about multi-touch gestures on the trackpad, and where did Save As go? Like, what's this duplicate thing? And a whole bunch of other super cool features. And then the third week I'm doing my file management course. And so if you need help files and folders and finding things and all that kind of stuff, that stuff's coming up too. How about you? What's coming up on your class schedule?
Well, there's that class about the year end, but in February I'm doing something a little bit different. I am heading into new turf. Right now, Google Apps have been really kind of taking the world by storm. And so traditionally, I've been a Microsoft Office person with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. But I am now going to do a series on the Google Apps for slides, docs, and
Sheets.
Yeah. Thank
Hey,
you.
all right.
There you go. And then in March, I'm doing some more advanced Word training. So if you've been using Microsoft Word and you're self-taught, you don't even know what you don't even know. There's all kinds of really cool desktop publishing and self-publishing tools.
I think there was a book that was named something like that, wasn't there?
Yeah.
What you don't know about Word?
Yeah.
I think I remember that book.
I think I wrote that book.
Well, that's awesome. And especially I'll tell you, with distance learning and the kids at home, we got 2 teenagers that are here home working, and they all seem to be using the Google Suite, right? They're all using docs and slides and sheets, and it's a great opportunity, even because again, your kids are expected to use these at school, but I don't think the schools are teaching them how to use them. They just expect
kind of figure it out.
Just expect that they know. And so if you've got a teenager or 20-something that's in college that's kind of like adapting to distance learning, this is going to be a great opportunity to get them more knowledge with the Google Suite, because that's again what a lot of these schools are using. So.
That's exactly why I made these courses.
So come to royalwise.com, click on the calendar link, and you'll see our whole calendar of classes. We've got classes scheduled from now all the way through April. So a lot of great stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got one more thing I want to say.
What's that?
Well, first off, I want to congratulate President Biden. We watched the inauguration yesterday, and it was spectacular, and it's very exciting to have a new administration in, and that's great and all. But Vice President Kamala Harris, our first female vice president, our first African American vice president, our first Asian American vice president. It's historic, and I just kind of want to congratulate her, and I want to congratulate the country on really the diversity that brings to us. Biden's been really packing his cabinet with a diverse group of folks, and it's great again to see an administration that looks like the country that they're supporting. And I think Kamala becoming vice president really speaks to that. So yay, let's see what happens next, right? I'm super excited about it.
Looking forward to it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with that, thanks for visiting us here in the Owl's Nest, and we'll be back in a couple weeks, and we'll do it all over again.
All right. See you in class.
Yeah, thanks for coming.